Hey y'all, welcome back to Trees Talks. So I don't know if any of y'all came across this story, but um I did and I found it quite interesting and it kind of pissed me off a little bit. So I wanted to bring it to y'all and see what y'all thoughts about it cuz I might be overreacting or tripping, but apparently it's about a Airbnb guest turned squatter. And it's tripping me out because it's like I have come across so many stories, even within the last year, about how these squatters are basically able to stay in these people's property for no money. And it's like, where the hell do y'all think y'all are that y'all are able to live anywhere for free besides outside? Like, and then they leave these landlords stuck with these huge bills. Like, you have landlords that have their own property that they live in and then the property that they rent out. So obviously they're taking a loss because if you're not paying for where you're staying, then I'm paying double mortgages. Like, it just pisses me off. And like, this story is crazy. And then the courts are no help. The police are no help. It's just like, it's too much. I just feel like squatters have way too many rights. And that's all I'm gonna say about it for now. I'm gonna play this video and then we're gonna talk about it in the comments. All right, here we go, y'all.
All of the responsibilities are on me and I can't get into my property. There's a leak in the property. The water bill is escalating. I can't get in there to see what's going on.
A D.C. homeowner claiming an Airbnb guest has overstayed their welcome and will not leave. In this story you'll only see on 7 News. We're digging into D.C. law, finding out there's not much that homeowner can do. Our Washington, D.C. reporter Felicia Ashley spoke with the homeowner and tried to speak with the alleged squatter.
The alleged squatter originally got into the home through Airbnb, claiming that her apartment caught fire and it needed time to get repairs. Now, that was back in February. Roshane Douglas says she didn't know she was opening her life up to a nightmare when she accepted Shadija Romero's Airbnb reservation almost 10 months ago. That reservation ended March 29th after 32 days, and Romero hasn't paid another dime. But living in the home for over a month apparently lets her claim some form of tenant rights, and she refuses to let Roshane enter the property.
I never gave her any tenancy. I never gave her a lease.
Roshane tried everything, gave her a 30-day notice to vacate, called police, went to court, and even offered Romero $2,500 to sign a paper admitting she's not a tenant and to get out. Romero signed the document, but didn't budge.
November the 15th came and she told me this no longer works for me. Do what you have to do. I'm not leaving. I went to the police with my order and they said there's nothing that they can do, that I need to go to court, which I've done. And
Okay, y'all, so we learned two things so far. 30 days makes you technically a tenant. So regardless of where you at, whether you at a hotel, Airbnb, if you stay a consecutive 30 days, apparently you are now a tenant. And then on top of that, the landlord or the owner is like, okay, well, you still gotta go. So she has her sign a contract and offers to pay her off, only for her to be like, well, you know what, even though I signed the paperwork, this no longer works for me. Like, what? Are you kidding?
I do not have a court date until December the 11th.
Roshane put this sign up on her home so police and the neighbors would know Romero was not authorized to be there. A sign Romero covered with a sheet.
I need police assistance.
I was there when police helped Roshane cut it down, while Romero hid inside.
It's shocking to me that you would abuse a system like that.
While all this is going on, Romero's social media shows her living her best life on trips. Cartwheel. And promoting her nonprofit. And Roshane is left paying thousands in attorney fees, the mortgage, and utilities for a home she can't even enter. I tried to get some answers from Romero, who was clearly inside the home, but she never came to the door. When a person walked out to her car, they didn't want to talk to us either. Roshane is waiting now for her court date next week, where she's hoping the judge's decision will allow U.S. Marshals to force her unwanted guest out once and for all.
A lot of updates on this case.
A lot, and it all happened as we were out here working on this story. First, you can see the homeowner was able to board up the home, but the guest was able to get back in. In addition to that, though, I was able to speak with the person the homeowner is accusing of squatting in her home. She stopped us as we were outside doing the story and invited us in.
The police allowed her to hire a locksmith and break in. She gave them no documents. She gave them no court orders. She gave them no lease. She just came and said, I'm locked out. This is taking me somewhere where I'm not trying to be. I'm trying to stay on the right, but for somebody to just take and do, everybody.
So wait, the homeowner boarded up her home, changed the locks, and yet this quote-unquote tenant was able to come back, get the police involved to help them essentially break into the homeowner's home. Child, this cannot be life right now.
Has a breaking point.
I went back to the property today and saw child services show up because Shadija brought her daughter into the home while there was no power or electricity inside. Police also showed up because the homeowner's truck went missing after Shadija got back in the house. And when Shadija cracked the door open to get a package, I saw what appears to be a candles and essential oils business inside.
This is unbelievable.
That led to a virtual emergency hearing today. In court, it was revealed that Shadija tried to push Roshane off a ladder, took the utilities out of the homeowner's name and put it in her daughter's name, tampered with cameras, requested that Roshane pay her back for the food lost when the power was turned off. Oh, and she asked the judge if she could question Roshane as a hostile witness. I was with Roshane as she attended the hearing from her car outside the home.
And the sad part is, I feel sorry for her. I really do. But your problem is, I can't help you. But I do truly feel sorry for her and her child and all of this. And I have a big heart, and this is the outcome of me having a big heart. I really hope somebody can help her, but you can't do it at my expense. I don't have it. If the judge doesn't give me some release, I'm gonna lose my property because I can't pay $4,000 a month and my other bills and my responsibilities like this. And there's no recourse for me.
And see, this is how good people get burned, because this owner was clearly trying to do something out of the kindness of her heart. She clearly seen that this lady was down on her luck, had children, felt sorry for her, thought that, hey, you know, a couple of extra days past your expected checkout day won't hurt anything. So she thought, and here she is months later, stuck in limbo, can't get her own property back. Like, this is absolutely insane. And again, this is why people find it hard to be nice, because they get burnt.
Tell us about what the alleged squatter has to say.
Right. Well, I spoke with her, and she maintains the fact that she says she is a tenant. And she says after her 30-day Airbnb stay got extended, she said she fell in hard times, some unfortunate situations, said she lost a lot of money, and that's why she couldn't leave at the set date that she had with the homeowners.
I sat down with an emotional Shadija Romero inside Rochelle Douglas's home.
Did you book the Airbnb with the intention of staying?
No, I did not book the Airbnb with the intent of staying.
So why are you still here?
Because after the repairs were done, the place still smelled like fire, and there was water damage. So the water damage was more substantial than the fire damage.
You didn't go back to your apartment because it still smelled like smoke.
And water damage.
And water damage. What makes you choose to stay here instead when the homeowner has made clear she doesn't want you here, doesn't want to be a landlord? There's now no utilities on, there's wood boarded up, there's a sign outside saying she doesn't want you here. What's making you choose to stay?
So no, that didn't start until literally this month.
What didn't start?
The sign on the building or the utility, that wasn't something that happened prior to this point, prior to this month. So if that had happened months ago and that was something that I've been dealing with for months, I would leave. So now, with all of this going on, I am going to leave.
And then she's talking about how all these things just so happen to happen with her apartment while she was at the Airbnb. Like, you didn't go back because it still smelled like smoke. Child, if you don't open some windows, get an air purifier and call it a day. Like, and even if that was the case, so you still not paying no rent, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not paying for anything. So explain that. Like, it's just given that you've done this before, and then you using your kids, because you know people be trying to use their kids to play on people's heartstrings, and it's like, that is so freaking pathetic. Like, please stop using your children to get over on people that are trying to be nice, because at the end of the day, what do you think that's teaching them?
Romero says she is still going to have the Douglases go through the full court process to get her out because of what she says they have put her through, and for labeling her as a squatter.
Squatter is someone who has illegally entered the property without your notice, and you never had an agreement with them.
It's also not just if the home's vacant, it's if you're there without the owner's permission and you're not leaving.
Yes, if you had, maybe that other part is there.
Coming up at 6, more from Shadija and why she says she is a tenant, although there is not a lease that exists between the two.
I'm just blown by how this quote-unquote tenant is playing a victim card. Like, she acting like she's so inconvenienced because the owner was showing up and putting signs up and talking about some, oh, well, had this been in place before, I'm going to leave. But you still haven't left. You're actually sitting there waiting for the courts to make a decision clearly, because if you were going to leave, you would have been left. You don't need no court or no owner to come and tell you to leave if that's what you was going to do anyway. It's giving, again, that you've done this before.
How is squatting even allowed to happen?
So in theory, squatting is not legal, and the homeowner should have some remedy. The problem is in the logistical way that a homeowner can get a remedy. And what you're describing in this case that you've been reviewing is that there's a dispute. The individual who's there says she's a tenant, the homeowner says that she's not, and you go down to court on an emergency hearing, and there's a judge sitting there, and the judge is going to hear from both. But the district is so pro-tenant and so fearful that there will be a wrongful eviction or a self-help eviction where the owner changes locks or turns off utilities or does something to cause occupant to leave without court order, that the judge is going to err on the side of caution. And if the occupant can show something that leads the court to say that there's a possibility that she's allowed to stay there, the court could grant the occupant's request at an injunction and mandate that the owner keeps her there until she gets awarded a proper eviction. And the problem is, in the district, that can take months and months.
And this is why these type of people make it so hard for people that really are trying to do the right thing, that just happen to have fell on their luck. These owners have been burnt so bad that they don't want to even try to give people the benefit of a doubt. It's sad, honestly. It really is sad. And then these courts that just are too scared to even make decisions is freaking blowing me. Like, they really need to have a better course of action for situations like this to protect the owners and their property, because if they do, it's not working. They need to have it revised for something better, because these owners are losing way too much money behind people taking advantage of the system. Like, it's like these scammers know the laws and the system better than the people that are legit do. Like, it's just mind-blowing. But what do y'all think? Let me know. Like, what would you do in this situation if you was the owner? Because this is truly sad, and I feel for her. Like, dude, nobody has money to pay double mortgages. And even if they did, like, why should I have to? It's crazy. Alright, y'all. Well, that's all I got for y'all in this video. I thank y'all so much for stopping by Trees Talks. And until the next time, please make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe.